It's really dark in here. Hello, it's live, and the first thing you heard me say was, it's really dark in here, because all the lights were turned down. How are you? Hope you're doing super. No, I hope you're doing marvellously well. I thought I'd say super. And look, I'm on the little cam up here. Hey! I'm big, I'm bad, and I'm back. I don't know if I'm bad. I don't know. If you ask my daughter, she'll think I'm bad. Greetings in Asbury Park. You can hear you. I can't hear you, but I can see you typing, Tom. Hello. Hello, everybody. Cohen van der Berg. That's a great name. Kenneth. Mel. Kelly. Ralph. Roy Glennie. There's so many cool people here that... You know, what I love about this community is, well, how about 20,000 different things. But one of them is the fact that when I sit there during the day or at night, scrolling through comments and answering questions, and remember... It is me. I do actually answer those questions. It is not some faceless, nameless person. It is actually me doing it. So sometimes I get a little overwhelmed, and I apologize if I miss your question. I try to go back and do it. Hello from hot Guilford, Connecticut. Wolverhampton. Wolves, you're having a good season, aren't you? Wolves are doing well. Congratulations, Wolves. Saddlebrook, Dominican Republic. From West Sussex. Whereabouts in West Sussex are you again? I think I asked you this last time, so I apologise. I have family in West Sussex. Cambridgeshire, Flatlands. Thank you. I appreciate it. Hello in Connecticut. Where is the soldering iron hidden? The soldering iron is in the other room. There's a lot of Ludwigshafen. Ludwigshafen? Schaffen. Is that right? Ludwigshafen? Anyway, yes, it's a little bit of a mess here because there's work going on. I was making that joke in my last Instagram post for those of you. If you don't already, please follow me on Instagram. Guess what it is? It's Warren Huart. It's WarrenHuart. Follow me on Instagram. Where is my phone? Anyway, I was making that joke because I've been working so much at the studio here. I have over the last couple of months. I haven't been working in as many outside studios as I normally do. Normally, there's pictures of sunset and all that kind of stuff. There's a little less of that at the moment because we've been holed up in here making records. I realized that my studio is this. It's chaotic, It seems like, in YouTube, it's mainly guys, with this like perfect background in a room or something like that, where everything's really perfect and it's perfectly lit. It's either that or it's like Instagram with this like meticulously photographed studio. And I just keep thinking to myself, how do you do these two things? There's no way we're ever going to have a studio that looks like that. At least to not actually be working, Do I need to get produce like a pro logo in the background? Do I need to get like a logo and have it strategically lit? And then should I get my Grammy nomination strategically lit as well? I do have some gold and platinum records around the place, but I got to get more strategic. Anyway, it's all funny. My point is, it's kind of a mess. That's because we're working all the time. And that's the whole point of us doing this YouTube channel, is to show you what it's like to make music every day. So how are you all? Hi Mark, hi Anne, hey Nothing's Nothing, hey Tony, hey Johnny, Paul, Anita, Not Hardly. Yeah, lived-in look. I'm a permanent lived-in look. Mood lighting, yes. Logo, yeah. Should we have the big logo? So I put the big logo behind my head. Enough about me, let's talk about me. One of those logos. Thank you, Pablo. I appreciate it. Thanks, Mel. I love it too. You're not feeling well, Anita? Feel better? You're sure as how I expect studios to look like. This is how studios look like, especially when you're working like 15 hours a day. I think, what time did we finish last night? 1? I think we finished at 1 and I was up at 6, maybe 6:30. It was my daughter's first day at school today. So, a neon logo banner and, yeah. you know, like put in like some stuff like that. All right. Anyway, I'll start waffling on. Me and my waffles. I'm immediately moving up over here. Hey, hey. So we'll try and get on the competitions a little quicker so that everybody gets a chance to win a membership. We're going to do a membership again today. If you haven't already, remember you can download the multi-tracks of the previous song side by side. And those of you may remember, it was David's wedding. He got married last Friday. Congratulations, David. And you can download those. I have not touched this song since our little soiree on Thursday. So this is exactly how it was left, soloed and everything. So let me grab my phone for a second. I'll be back in a second. Now, it was pointed out that these are actually the Sadies, not the Lolas, so I apologise. We have Lolas and Sadies. So I can switch to the Lolas if you like. I don't know where they are off the top of my head. Where are Eric's Lolas? I don't know.
He takes them home.
Oh, he takes them home. Okay. I mean, I can switch to any headphones. The point of mixing it with the headphones on is to really just... And these are nice. These are nice headphones. They're not cheap. But they're nice. And I have absolutely no problem with changing to any headphones that... you know, that's really what it's about, is I just want to prove that, you know... Yeah, I have tried the Focals. The really, really expensive ones. They're in the other room. We also have Biodynamic DT1990s, which are phenomenal. But they're Max's favourite. So when Max is here working, I let him use them. I do have another make that I used to use a lot, but we all know the story about what happened with those. Alrighty. Let's begin. I'm going to have a recap and see where we left off. This is where we left off.
You don't know me. You don't know me like I do, but I've been drifting for about a year or two.
All right. First thing I noticed, there's no D on that drifting.
You don't know me like I do, but I've been drifting.
It's like drifting.
Been drifting.
So that's a comp. Just going to quickly go through. All right. Well, looks like I thought I could find it quickly. See if it hasn't been edited out.
I've been drifting.
It's a little bit more pronounced in that. But let's do this. Let's go to playlists. And this is comping. God bless it. Let's just have a listen and see if we got a better D.
But I've been drifting. But I've been drifting. But I've been drifting. But I've been drifting.
That's better.
But I've been drifting. But I've been drifting. But I've been drifting.
Keep going.
But I've been drifting. But I've been drifting. But I've been drifting.
That sounds like the one I used.
But I'm still drifting. But I've been drifting. But I've been drifting.
A little better.
But I've been drifting. But I've been drifting.
I kind of like that. Now in Pro Tools you can just highlight the area, then you hit this little up button here and boing, up it goes. Now, take out solo safe, let's go back to waveform. So yeah, sometimes mixing is this. This is mixing. It's like, you know, I'm here. Now obviously I recorded this, so if there's any problem with it, it's my fault, I did it. Let's go and do this. Let's turn it up a little bit. So do you see we used the clip gain there for those of you that are Pro Tools users? Let's have a listen.
But I've been drifting.
There you go. So there you go. There's some mixing in action, actually just editing. So it bothered me before, and I'd forgotten all about it, and the first thing I hear, this is what I love about starting a mix, or sorry, not starting, returning to a mix with fresh ears, is that little issue that I wasn't sure was an issue, straight away sounded to me like, where's the drifting?
You don't know me. You don't know me like I do, but I've been drifting for about a year or two under these conditions.
So it's good. It's still got a little bit of a nasalness to it that we pulled out before. We boosted some highs and a little bit of a lows. Dum-de-dum-dum-dum. We got a 7-band here, another 7-band there. Let's just see if we can find that kind of 600 area.
You don't know me. You don't know me like I do, but I've been drifting for about a year. You don't know me. You don't know me like I do, but I've been drifting.
Wow, that was quick and easy. So all I did was about 650, pulled out quite a narrow band, and it's already massively different.
You don't know me. You don't know me like I do, but I've been drifting.
Let's put it back in.
You don't know me. You don't know me like I do, but I've been drifting. You don't know me.
Wow, that's huge for me. Now, maybe it's a subtle change for you, which is perfectly okay, but if you listen to this phrase here, this third phrase, with or without this EQ in, see here? This is what I'm going to be turning on. Have a listen to the phrase. This is with it off.
For about a year or two under these conditions. For about a year or two under these conditions. For about a year or two under these conditions.
It's actually a little much for me. But I'm going to widen it slightly, believe it or not. Just a tiny bit. Okay.
For about a year or two under these conditions. For about a year or two under these conditions. For about a year or two under these conditions. For about a year or two under these conditions. For about a year or two under these conditions. For about a year or two.
So I did two sets of 200 boost here. Well, not necessarily 2 sets, but I don't know if I need that anymore.
For about a year or two under these conditions.
Marvelous. It said, have you tried the new Studio One? No, I haven't personally. Is it a bad idea to comp your own vocals? That's a marvelous question. Is it a bad idea? I have to comp my own vocals all the time. I'm still the best comper that we have, so I like to comp the vocals. It's not to say that I won't trust somebody else to do it, but I know what you're saying. It can be, it can be a real pain, because you can be overly critical on yourself. So you can always give it to somebody else, a third party, to do it, and then take it from there, then change things up. I personally don't like to comp in front of the singer, but I've done it a lot. Even Steven Tyler, I didn't comp in front, but then sometimes he would do it. However, with Steven, he's self-comping, so it makes it a lot easier. Comp means compile.
For about a year or two under these conditions. A weary soul and some.
Now, to me, that sounds still natural, doesn't sound overly bright. In a pop world, it could definitely get much, much brighter, but we're just going to keep it like that for the time being. Now, let's add in the acoustic guitar.
You don't know me. You don't know me like I do, but I've been drifting for about a year or two under these conditions. A weary soul and some torn up shoes.
Now, you can probably tell that this is an integral part of the song. I mean, the song was written around that acoustic guitar, which is why it's so chopped up sounding.
Know me. You don't know me like I do, but I'm still tracing every line that leads back to all of these conditions. A slightly twisted point of view. And
it actually gets a little ahead on a couple of times, and again, I'm not afraid to do a quick edit like this. I do love new Pro Tools. It's so much smoother. As I was saying the other day, this is the same system that I run HD on. Okay, so I did a quick edit there. Let's have a listen.
you don't know me. You don't know me like I do, but I'm still tracing every line that leads back to.
There's a few times it's still ahead, but it doesn't bother me. It's only visually ahead. And you know what we think about working on that? Who cares about what it looks like? What does it sound like? I'm only changing the ones that bother me sonically. Nothing else. If I don't hear it being ahead, I don't care. Now, at the moment, the acoustic's not overly bright. It might get a little bit more. You might hear some of the articulation. Once it gets brighter, you're going to start to hear maybe where things rub a little bit, because we hear high end first, loudest, and most prominent. Our ears, particularly in the sort of 3 to 5K area, are really, really, really sensitive. Okay, so I had an MV2 on it, but we're mixing only with stock plugins. So I'm going to EQ into compression. We're going to go only to Avid, only to stock plugins. I don't think, have Avid ever acknowledged that we do anything with them? Has anybody ever seen Avid talk about this stuff? They don't pay us anything, so that's probably why they don't acknowledge us. All right, here we go.
Know me. You don't know me like I do, but I've been drifting for about a year or two under these conditions. A weary soul and some torn up.
So that brightness is, it doesn't get too brittle because he's playing with his fingers. So it's interesting. We can make it quite a lot brighter without it really getting too, you know, so it doesn't have the pick sound. That's ba, 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 ba. He's playing with fingers. Obviously with the pick, it will get a bit more aggressive. So I'm brightening it probably a little bit more than you'd think would be necessary. That was just a one band. So let's go in and keep the same EQ type because we're only doing stock plugins, but go to a 4-band. And I think obviously we can roll off any potential, you know, air conditioning sound. Who cares? Don't need it. Don't need anything below about 100-ish at all.
Know me. You don't know me like I do.
So a high passing, not a problem at all on a part like this. Now, for me, 1K is going to give me a bit of articulation. So let's have a listen to what it sounds like, just to boost that.
And I need to prove that I am different. You don't.
Now, what I like about doing that nice wide 1K thing here is it adds some weight to it without getting in some of the low mids that are going to mess with other instruments. I don't want to boost the low mids. And if I just only boost the high end without boosting that kind of pure mid range, it will start sounding super thin. But I'm still going to go to about 7K and do like a gentle slope like this.
And I need to prove that I am different.
Now, maybe it's occasionally getting a little bright. So how do we get around that? How do we get around that? Well, what we decide we're going to do.
You don't know me. You don't know me like I do, but I'm still tracing every line that leads back to all of these conditions.
I think I pulled that back too far. Getting rid of it. Changing my edit.
You don't know me like I do, but I'm still tracing.
Sometimes you just have to use your ears and decide you overdid something. So I think it's really only these first 2 notes that need to come back slightly, 3 notes. Don't be, you know, don't get precious. If you don't like something, you can undo it.
You don't know me.
Now, I'm not going to use a multiband. Great question. But what I am going to do is, you guessed it, I'm going to use a de-esser. Which is, let's go to Avid here. Let's get out the stock de-esser, which is here, Dyne 3 de-esser.
You don't know me. You don't know me like I do, but I'm still tracing every line that leads back to all of these conditions. A slightly twisted point of view, and I am different, but still no different. And I can't find one more deserving.
Now with this, I haven't done any effects on the vocals yet, as you can tell. Then we're not listening to anything at all. I do, and I'm going to get to that in a bit. I just wanted the vocal in there with the rough sound so I could build everything around it. I don't want to mix without hearing a vocal because I won't know what the mix is going to be. I need to hear that vocal in there. It's really important to me. But what I would like to hear is a little bit of reverb on the guitar, just a little bit to put it in a room. So I'm going to go and create a stereo auxiliary like this, and we'll just make it whatever the next spare bus is. I don't know, we'll go down to 37. Okay, and this is just coming off of the acoustic guitar. Go to 37 here, hit Option, and we're going to do acoustic reverb. And I'm going to do, I want to control this evenly. So I might compress before going into the reverb, but I might not. Let's try it with, you know what I am? I'm going to go straight for that first of all. So let's go in and get something really, really generic. And there's nothing more generic than a good old-fashioned Bomb Factory plugin. Those of you that have used Pro Tools will know that this has been around for about 4,500 years. It's one of the most, you know, generic Avid plugins ever. And did it open? That's interesting. There it is. Okay. We'll just, and now I'm going to go for good old-fashioned deverb. Again, we're staying in stock. And the reason why is I chose a mono one. All right. Now, I want this to be a small room, so I'm going to go at about, I don't know, maybe 600-700 milliseconds.
Now I can never change.
Solo the two. There.
Now I can never change. That these conditions. Now I can never change. That these conditions are mine alone to claim. I don't know you.
So it's panned just to one side. So we went stereo, and then I decided just to go mono. So I've opened up a mono, and it's only panned to one side.
Point of view, and I am different, but still no different.
And we're only listening to everything together.
Point of view, and I am different, but still no different.
Now, sometimes on the old Pro Tools, you'd open multi-mono plugins, but I realized because we're in the new Pro Tools, we just went straight for mono or stereo. When I chose mono, it went to one side only, and we're only listening to the right. But that's good because I'm trying to balance it. So I've got clean, no reverb over here, slightly, 50, and then on the opposite side, a bit of reverb, and it's creating a bit of width.
Of you and I am different, but still no different. And I can't find one more deserving of all the blame. I know myself well, and everything points that way. And though I'm clean, now I can never change. That these conditions are mine alone to claim.
Clay's asking a good question. Would I put the main vocal and acoustic on the same reverb? I think I would if I was really going super intimate. But there's an intimacy on this song which I love, but I don't think so. I think we have enough guitar overdubs that we don't need to do that. But the reverb's sounding a little bright and a little long. So let's try this.
A slightly twisted point of view, and I am different, but still no different. And I can't find one more deserving of all the blame. I know myself well, and everything points that way. And though I'm clean, now I can never change. That these conditions are mine alone to claim. I don't know you. I don't know you like you do.
I like that. So I've gone really short. I've gone to 142 milliseconds, and now it just sounds like almost like a bathroom, but almost like a small room. I did do some EQ inside of the plugin on the earlier ones. Let's try.
A slightly twisted point of view, and I am different, but still no different. And I can't find one more deserving of all the blame. I know myself well, and everything points that way. And though I'm clean now, I can never change that these conditions are mine alone to claim.
Okay, cool. So that gave me what I want. It gave me like an intimate sound, but like, you know, it may all change, but it's the way I'm building the song up. Now, okay, let's do a giveaway. So this is a giveaway for a year membership to the Academy. The Academy has about 30 multi-tracks in there and the most active and incredible forum and private Facebook group you're ever going to see in your entire life. And people are so unbelievably helpful in there, and the community is incredible. So, first of all, would you like and share? I'm going to go on and have a look at our YouTube here. Dum-de-dum-dum-dum-dum-dum. Dum-de-dum-dum-dum-dum-dum. 397 people watching. You frickin' rock and roll. Yeah, baby. We have 95 likes. Can we get it up to 396 likes? That would be absolutely amazing. So please like and share. Thank you, everybody who's on here. This is absolutely amazing. So we're going to give away a free year of the Academy. Please like and share it and all those kind of good things. Feel free to ask questions here. I'll do as much as I can. Yes, somebody, Christian, was asking, yes, if you do the super chat, I will always answer the super chat above everything else. But everything is wonderful. This is so amazing. I'm enjoying this one. All right, so this is going to be a free year inside of the Academy, 30 plus multi-tracks, amazing community. What do we want to know? What is your favorite reverb? There you go. What is your favorite reverb? There's 1,100 members in the Academy. What is your favorite reverb? Tell me, what is your favorite reverb? Is it a stock one? Is it a third party? What is it? You can share it, you know, just copy the link and share it wherever you like. It's all good. I really appreciate it. Whatever you want to do, I appreciate everybody who follows us and helps. So, what is your favorite reverb? Not hardly. The super chat is that little $sign. So please like, share, and thank you ever so much, Johnny. I'm going to ask Andrew really nicely if he wouldn't mind making me a cup of coffee. You know, got up at 6 this morning. Well, 6:30. My wife got up at 6. Little plate, Abbey Road, Deverb. Yeah, I mean, I'm using the Deverb here. We're gonna, when this song is finished, it is going to be completely mixed inside of the box using blue headphones. And, of course, all stock plugins. Doom, doom, doom. Okay. A, Waves, Empty Turbo, Abbey Road, Lexicon True Verb, Waves IR Full, Fab Filter, Plate Verb on guitar, Waves True Verb, Slate Classics, Sound Toys. We love our Sound Toys. We love Waves. We love everybody here. This is great. Echo Boy and a Lexicon Hall. Nice. It sounds like a wonderful combination, Clay. Yes, you can hit the super chat, as Christian was asking, and I will answer that question. Yes. Oh, Tube Tagular. I know. That's coming up. We have so many wonderful videos coming up. All right. What am I going to do? I'm going to add in the piano.
Prove that I am different.
So that is my crappy piano in there, totally out of tune, compressed with an inch of its life. I absolutely squashed the snizzle out of it. I'm using the AEA ribbon mic, just so you know. Now, at the moment, it's on the same side of the acoustic. I'm going to go the opposite side. It's pretty much recorded how I want to hear it. I put a bit of this futz box on before, which we're not going to do because we're working with stock plugins. So what was I doing with the futz box? Well, I was narrowing it a little bit and distorting it a little bit. So we'll just use lo-fi. Lo-fi is free and does the job. And we're not going into solo. We're just going to keep it like this.
I am different.
pretty scary, isn't it, when it comes in like that? I'm going to bring it down a little bit, but I like it.
I am different.
David will not be watching this video. And David, if you are watching this video, don't watch it. Why is that? Because he is on his honeymoon. I believe he's in France as we speak. So if he's watching this, he's doing something wrong. Okay. He should be with his lovely bride.
I am different.
I mean, I like the sound as it is. It was printed the way I want to hear it. So I'm bringing in like, you know what's interesting with this lo-fi? Look how much I've got on here. 0.4, saturation 0.2, but you can still hear it.
I am different.
Interesting. Okay. See what I'm doing? Do you see what I just did there? I changed that reverb to stereo. Why did I do that? I know there's a lot of people that are very smart. They are very, very smart. They'll know what I did. Now I'm going to change that to a stereo output, sorry, auxiliary. I'm going to send it to one side here, the acoustic guitar. Now I am going to bring this down here and send that. Yep, you guessed it. They're going to share the same reverb.
I'm different. You don't know me. I'm different. You don't know me. I'm different.
Love that immediately. That's great. It's really, really nice. It's just, it just now feels like they're in the same room. It's keeping this intimacy. It's really good. All right, keep moving on. Now, obviously, the piano comes in with the chorus here.
I can't find one more deserving of all the blame. I know myself well and everything points that way. And though I'm clean now, I can never change. That these conditions are mine alone to claim.
A Hungarian dulcimer. What it is, it's just super aggressive. So I've got a very, very aggressive compressor on it. The compressor I was using, I'm looking over here to check. I was using the BAE 10DC. I can't remember if it had an F in it. It doesn't have an F because it doesn't have the filter, so it's a 10DC. So it's basically a Neve style compressor, the BAE. So what's happening is it's kind of moving as fast as it can to pick up those transients.
I can't find one more deserving of all the blame. I know myself well and everything points that way. And though I'm clean now, I can never change.
Thanks, Tony. Tom, I appreciate it. Sorry.
You don't know me. You don't know me like I do.
I'm glad you like it, Tom. All right, cool. So what's up next? Guitar.
You don't know me. You don't know me like I do, but
Now, this, I had hard panned, which I'm going to leave hard panned for the choruses. But in the verse, I'm going to make it oppose the acoustic guitar. So before we do any other mixing, let's take that panning, see here, and just pan it at, say, 50%. That's going to balance out the acoustic nicely. It is quiet at the moment, though, so we're going to turn it up. We don't need all of these buses because we have no...
you don't know me. You don't know me like I do, but I'm still tracing every line that leads back to all of these conditions. A slightly twisted point of view, and I am different, but still no different. And I can't find one more deserving of all the blame. I know my
So now it's gone all the way full over to the other side. Why is that? It's because there's another guitar coming in. Here it comes.
Still no different, and I can't find one more deserving of all the blame. I know myself well, and everything points that way. And though I'm clean now, I can still no different, and I can't find one more deserving of all the blame. I know myself well, and everything points that way. And though I'm clean now, I can never change that these conditions are mine alone to claim. I don't know you.
Okay, Clay is asking a great question. Elaborate on hard pan versus partial pan. Now, at the moment, the only dynamics in this performance are the ones created by the musicians. And the musicians are me and David. I played bass, electric guitar. Sometimes I play piano. Sometimes I play acoustic guitar. I believe on this, it's entirely David on acoustic. Also, you can see here it was tracked using the Huart acoustic guitar. I think we did this on actually on a video, but yeah, this was tracked with an Huart microphone on acoustic. But yeah, so what I do is because the dynamics are created by the musicians, and I'm not doing any volume automation at the moment. I'm not even getting that much into compression or EQ. It's pretty light. As you've noticed, these last two guitars, I haven't done any compression or EQ. I recorded this guitar through my Marshall, and I did print a DI in case we want to reamp a little later, but through my Marshall, and I used a tone tubby cab, which is a little darker, and put a 57 on it, just in the middle of the cone, and used a BAE 312 into a Spectrasonics compressor. The Spectrasonics is I'm looking down here, the M610, for those of you that want to know. It is a wonderful compressor. That combined with the 57 and the BAE 312 is half of the job is done for me. I also EQ'd the amp to be the way I wanted it and placed the mic. So a lot of that stuff is done. So why am I telling you all this when you asked about panning? Because the dynamics are built into the production. Another guitar comes in. So what other tools do we need? We use panning. So I'm narrowing in the verses. The verses on the acoustic guitar, and even when the piano comes in here, are around about 50-50-ish, 40-50. Then when the chorus comes in, it goes wide. That creates width. Now, it doesn't have to necessarily do that with the acoustic, but with these two electrics here, they are wide pan to each other.
I can't find one more deserving of all the blame. I know myself well, and everything points that way. And though I'm clean now, I can never change that these conditions are mine alone to claim.
So that is the reason why we use panning, hard panning, and soft panning. It's there to help create basically a feeling of width. It also helps when we come to a chorus. It just creates that absolute, not also helps, it helps when it comes to that chorus area there. I love panning. I don't do everything LCR, but I do adhere to LCR. That might sound confusing. What do I mean by that? What I mean is like I understand why LCR works. LCR is like kick, snare, vocals, bass guitar, down the middle. Then left and right, wide guitars, wide keys, wide backgrounds. All of those things make sense. However, from beginning to end of a song, it's really boring. If everything just goes brah, big wide, hits you over the head, you're fatigued. That kind of mixing works with certain genres, with like a metal track that's relentless and just the whole time. I totally get why you would LCR. I understand why not all, but most metal mixers LCR. I get it. But when you're dealing with music like this, which has some more subtlety, you can use panning to do that. I haven't done any volume rides or anything yet, but you can listen to the difference between the verse and the chorus.
When I am different, but still no different, and I can't find one more deserving of all the blame. I know myself well, and everything points that way.
Cool. So it's doing everything I wanted to do. Now, I have a stereo guitar that I was using on a stereo delay. We'll jump to that in 1 second. Let's have a listen to this one before.
Me, you don't know me like I do, but I've been drifting.
So I did this guitar right from the top. Yeah, panning and high passing are both really, really important.
Me, you don't know me like I do, but I've been drifting for about.
The piano is not overlapping in the chorus because it's about 40%, where I've gone hard left and hard right. So I've kept like things like this, 2 elements, like 40 or 50%, and then I've added wide on the outside. So I'm just building a nice little spectrum there.
And I can't find one more.
If you haven't already, go and watch the previous mix of this so you can see how we got to this point, because we did drums and bass in that. I'm still not finished, just so you know, with the vocal. I got the vocal to a place that I like the sound of it. I have not applied any effects yet, and I have not probably brightened it a little bit more. But I have made the decision based on mixing the vocal to a point where I was happy before I started adding things. But I guarantee it's going to get brighter. You're going to find as more stuff is added, it needs more brightness. Now, I did some fun things with this guitar. This one we're about to hear. You know what? Excuse me. Let's do another giveaway. So thank you everybody that's watching. We have a lot of people watching. Nearly 400 people. That's absolutely amazing. Hello everybody. We have 217 likes. If we can get those 400 people to also like, that would be absolutely wonderful. And we're going to give away another free membership, a year-long membership to the Academy. We're doing 3 giveaways, so stay to the end. There's 3 giveaways. So, what do I want to know? We talked about reverbs. We talked about panning. We talked a bit about DAWs, about how this new Pro Tools I really like. Obviously mixing in the box. Okay, headphones. I'm mixing on these blues. I've had these headphones now for about 3 months, and I've also used ultrasounds. I also use biodynamics and focals. And I grew up, of course, in the UK, in England, and in Europe in general, on bios. I don't know about the rest of you in Europe, but I grew up using DT100s, which are those white bios, a whitish grey colour. And I still have 3 pairs of them, and that's what I grew up listening to. We used to call them NS10s strapped to your head because they were pure mid-range. They were amazing and are amazing for tracking. The other reason why we liked those bios is because when things broke, you could buy all the components to fix it. So very, very good for professional studios, because people, of course, are always stepping on cables and breaking earmuffs and doing all that kind of stuff. So we did like the bios. Now, I've gravitated towards these blues because Cameron Webb and a bunch of other people I respect showed me them, and they're really wonderful. However, I mix and use all kinds of headphones at all times. What I want to know is, what do you use? What headphones do you use? We will pick one of you. Please hit that like button, please share if you can, and let us know what headphones you use. And now we're going to listen to this electric here.
And I can't find one more deserving of all the blame. I know myself.
Now you can tell that's an ambient part. I want to solo it, but I'm not going to. I'm going to keep it in the track. And I'm going to wipe off a little bit of the blur of the low mids. We're going to go back to Avid. We're doing mixing with stock plugins only. Getting some great answers. DT770s, DT880s. We have a lot of buyer people here. A couple of MD 7506s. Yeah, the Sony 7506s are kind of the American equivalent of the DT100s. Like when I moved over here, all the Americans I knew used those. And I didn't know them from back in Britain, in the United Kingdom. All right.
You don't know me.
So I'm high passing this electric. It does not, I can take it up to about 150 or 2, no problem, because it's just a little high line.
You don't know me. You don't know me like I do, but I've been drifting for about.
I'm a little concerned because I don't want to make it too bright because I don't want to fight with other information, but I am.
You don't know me. You don't know me like I do, but I've been drifting for about a year or 2 under these conditions.
So it seems like to me, I did some insanity there. Look how stupid that is. Look at that. How silly is that? Now, I did that because I'm believing that I don't need that guitar to be much more than a couple of K. So, get rid of what I just did and do this. So I'm going to high and low pass it.
You don't know me. You don't know me like I do, but I've been drifting for about a year or two under these conditions. A weary soul.
That's all it needs to be. So you see what I'm doing? I'm around about 1.5, 2.
You don't know me. You don't know me like I do, but I've been drifting for about a year or two under these conditions. A weary soul and some torn up shoes from all the distance.
The Beatles used a J37. That was one of the tape machines they used. And if you Waves do it, thanks ever so much for the $1. I appreciate it. You bought me a cup of coffee. Talking of coffee. Speaking of coffee.
You don't know me. You don't know me like I do, but I've been drifting for about a year or two.
All right, so it's not a pretty piece of EQ there. I'm sure there's a channel that's going to like put out a video saying that you destroyed the phase, you know, but I don't care. It sounds good.
You don't know me. You don't know me like I do, but I've been drifting for about a year or two under these conditions. A weary.
Cool. I like that a lot. Now, I'm going to mess with this. I am going to mess with the schnizzle. So I'm going to put some verb on it. Good old-fashioned D-verb, stock plugins only. Stock plugins only. You know what? I'm not going to do that yet. I'm going to put it over here. I'm messing with this. I'm going to put a stereo delay on it. Let's see what Avid has for us on stereo delays. They have a mod delay here. Oh, you know what? The good old-fashioned Mugafuga. This is an underestimated one. Remember this? This has been around forever. Forever.
You don't know me. You don't know me like I do, but I've been drifting for about.
I wanted to go into stereo with this. It's only in mono. Or do we have a stereo version of it? No, we don't. Well, you know what? Maybe I do. I love this. It's making up as we go.
You don't know me. You don't know me like I do, but I've been drifting for about a year or.
I love it already.
You don't know me. You don't know me like I do, but I've been drifting.
Because the high pass, put it on.
You don't know me. You don't know me like I do.
Thanks ever so much, Ben. You rock. Oh, do they not make the Mugafuga anymore? I mean, this is the... I love the H delay. I absolutely love the H delay. But what we're doing here is we're staying with stock plugins. So if you've got Pro Tools, you get this.
You don't know me. You don't know me like I do, but I've been drifting.
Yeah, my piano's definitely out of tune. And my piano tuner, his name is Warren Huff, hates tuning it because it goes out of tune almost immediately. But thanks ever so much, Ben Taylor. I really appreciate it.
You don't know me. You don't know me like I do.
I'm mixing on headphones only, so...
You don't know me. You don't know me like I do, but I've been drifting.
No, orangutan trade salesman. Yeah, I see your dad. You're saying your dad is a piano tuner. There's not much you can do about this piano. It's very old. It's falling apart. And, they just consider the Mugafugas. That's such a shame.
You don't know me. You don't know me like...
I like what it's doing. It's already great. Okay. Now, I'm actually going to go and change this reverb to a stereo one.
You don't know me. You don't know me like I do, but I've been drifting for about a year or two under these conditions. A weary soul and some torn up shoes from all the distance. And I need to prove that I am different.
Love it. All right, it's going to tame some of that high end on that guitar by putting a de-esser on it, because we did this boost here at 2K.
You don't know me. You don't know me like I do, but I've been drifting for about a year or two under these conditions. A weary soul.
See what that's doing? So I'm using this de-esser on the guitar here, and I selected about 4.5K, and now look at how it's getting rid of just that little extra grit, which is a little annoying.
You don't know me. You don't know me like I do, but I've been drifting for about.
So it almost sounds clean now. It's really, really nice, but controlled.
You don't know me. You don't know me like I do, but I've been drifting for about a year or two under these conditions.
Gonna come in even more because you think down, down. That note, I want to bring it
You
down.
don't know me. You don't know me like I do, but I've been drifting.
So I'm actually gonna, just for schnizzle, I'm actually gonna use it twice. So I'm gonna put, this is just, I love using de-essers.
You don't know me. You don't know me like I do, but I've been drifting.
Ah, it's totally tame now. Beautiful.
You don't know me. You don't know me like I do, but I've been drifting for about a year or two under these conditions. A weary soul and some torn up shoes from all the distance. And I need to prove that I am different.
Oh, I cheated. I used a Waves de-esser. Woo! Thank you. What? Oh, I got busted. Busted!
You don't know me. You don't know me like I do, but I've been drifting for about a year or two under these conditions.
Who spotted it? Sorry.
You don't know me.
Busted! All right.
You don't know me. You don't know me like I do, but I've been drifting for about.
How come I put a de-esser on the guitar? Back to Avid, yeah. Was to control the high end, so it just sounded a little bit smoother. And rather than EQing it genetically EQing. We're going to genetically EQ the guitar here. No, rather than generically EQing it, I...
You don't know me. You don't know me like I do, but I've been drifting for about a year or two under these conditions. A weary soul and some torn up shoes from all the distance.
Oh, we do love the Slate de-esser. It's very great.
You don't know me. You don't know me like I do, but I've been drifting for about a year or two under these conditions. A weary soul.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because I use both different types of de-essers. And I think I just, you know what I did? I just went to the top and opened the first de-esser I saw.
No different, and I can't find one more deserving of all the blame.
So what have we learned? We learned that a great way to do multiband compression without having to sit there and fiddle with these really, really complicated looking multiband compressors is just to use a de-esser.
You know me. You don't know me like I do, but I've been drifting for about a year or two under these conditions. A weary soul and some torn up shoes from all the distance. And I need to prove that I am different.
So that's just creating a wash. It's creating a wash. There's a part of me that would even maybe wash it out even more, but we'll just leave it like that at the moment. Now, this is the exciting guitar. Listen to this one in the track.
And I can't find one more deserving of all the blame. I know myself well and everything points that way. And though I'm clean now, I can never change that these conditions are mine alone to claim.
See, I love that. So what I did when I did this before is I used an H delay. Now, we're just going to go. So there's a trim here just to kind of, in fact, it's not even being used. But what is interesting here is I've got a Sans amp on the DI with tons of reverb on it. So,
And I can't find one more deserving of all the blame. I know myself well, and everything points that way.
now why do I have that? Well, what I wanted to do was I took that, washed it out, and then on this one here, which was the amp, I'm going to do a ping-pongy kind of delay. So let's go to Avid, go to our modulation delay in stereo, see what other delays comes with Avid. Because remember, we're not allowed to use the pro stuff, because the pro stuff you have to pay for. We're only using stock. So let's see what defaults they've got. I'm going to go and see if we can find a default. We've got slapback, we've got flanger, flanging phase, that's interesting. Chariots of fire, interesting. Slapback delay, short, slow flange, whole and half loops. Dual comb, we don't want that. Metal slap. Okay, what we don't have is one called ping pong, which is really kind of strange. All right, so I'm just going to do what we want. So it's synced to 182. We'll do one side 8th and 1/16. It should be set on 100% wet. Yes, it is. Here we go.
And I can't find one more deserving of all the blame. I know myself well, and everything points that way.
The vocal mic was a Lewitt. Yes, 440. I couldn't remember if it was the 240 or the 440, but it's the one that's $299, not the one that's $149. And what happened is, I'll tell the story quickly. We were tracking on my U47, which, as you all know, is a very famous mic. It wasn't the U47. Oh, wait there. Was this this was before we changed mics? Yes, thank you. So this was the song that we were singing beforehand. The one we did after, we changed to the Lewitt because he wasn't getting on with this 47, which is why we're adding so much high end. With his voice, he's got a very modern kind of voice. What do I mean by that? He's not one of those kind of guys that sings like this. He's very, he's got a very mid-rangey voice. And it wasn't loving the 47. So this is the 47, but this is the reason why we changed to the Lewitt. We threw up the Lewitt to try it out, and we realized that extra air and high end the Lewitt had was perfect for him. So this is a $15,000 to $20,000 microphone that has been on some of the biggest records, How to Save a Life, you name it, Adele, blah, blah, blah. This big famous, whatever that means, a well-known microphone on well-known songs. Works in so many situations. Got beaten by a $299 microphone because it worked better for the singer. This is really important to know. There's no one size fits all. You can buy the most expensive gear in the world, but it won't necessarily work.
And I can't find one more deserving of all the blame. I know myself well, and everything points that way. And though I'm clean now, I can never change.
Yes, Lem, it's still David.
I can't find one more deserving of all the blame. I know myself well, and everything points that way.
I can't remember what mic we used. I feel like we used the same mic. We just flew it down. We just flew it down on acoustic.
I can't find one more deserving of all the blame. I know myself.
Yeah, I use the slate mic when I want to get the C12 because it's like I'm never going to buy a C12. I have a pair of C12As. There is no way in a million years you're going to get me to buy a C12. I don't use it enough. When I want a C12, you fly up the slate. It's only $1,000, and it's great. Side by side, this side by side. It's the song that came out last Friday. Which can you put up that mix? A link to that mix, please, young Matt. It's side by side. Please like and share.
I can't find one.
Crispy says he bought the Lewitt 440 Pure because of you and David. Best investment I've ever made. It's pretty amazing. Hi, Mum.
I can't find one more deserving of all the blame.
I think I'm going to go the opposite way. See, they have a triplet there. What can we do? Why don't we cheat? I wonder if we can just cheat this. Now another listen.
I can't find one more deserving of all the blame. I know myself well, and everything points that way. And though I'm clean now, I can never change that these conditions are mine alone to claim. I can't find one more deserving of all the blame. I know myself well, and everything points that way. And though I'm clean now, I can never.
So you can download the multitracks there for that song, so you can hear the other mic, the $300 microphone. Also what you can do is, if you're an Academy member, you can get a massive discount. We do educational discounts.
I can't find one more deserving of all the blame. I know myself well, and everything points that way. And though I'm clean now, I can never change that these conditions are mine alone to claim.
I don't have a specific low-budget headphones that I would recommend. I will tell you that Barry Rudolph said he recommends Audio-Technica for the price. For the under $100, he thinks they win. I'll have to go through all the headphones and check. Basically, I would say, somebody's saying here the Focal Listen Pro. I don't know those, so maybe that's another option to look at. AKG 240s are good. I used to use those for years. I do trust Barry, though, on the Audio-Technica, and I've heard that from a few people. But it looks like AKG 240s, Audio-Technicas, and what was the other suggestion? The Focal Listen Pros.
I can't find one more deserving of all the blame. I know myself well.
I'm not sure if that's dreamy enough. What do I mean by that? Well, I feel like what I want to do is wipe off a little bit of high end. So I'm just going to go here to my Avid. I'm going to open up a 7-band here.
I can't find one more deserving of all the blame. I know myself well, and everything points that way. And though I'm clean now, I can never change that these conditions are mine alone to claim.
I'm also going to do the same thing over here. In fact, I might just copy, this up. Oh, I can't because it's, okay. So, remember, I'm running this all completely native on quite an old computer. So you guys and girls should have no issue being able to replicate what I'm doing using stock plugins.
I can't find one more deserving of all the blame. I know myself well, and everything points that way. And though I'm clean now, I can never change that these conditions are mine alone to claim.
So I'm allowing the reverb to be a little brighter on that other one.
I can't find one more deserving of all the.
I'm a little concerned because what's going to happen now is if we get too bright in these areas, I'm going to have to go back to the snare and automate the EQ, which is okay. And do the same thing with the vocal. You're noticing everything starting to sound a little like the vocal's starting to sound more like this. The snare's starting to go thump instead of pop. So it's important. It's important to note when you're boosting high end like this, you're rebalancing your whole mix. You make one thing brighter, you're going to have to make other things brighter. You know, it's one of the biggest issues I hear with a lot of mixes, especially a lot of stuff that I see on YouTube, is they talk about like making this and everything ends up being like too forward. So they make their kick drum super clicky. And then the snare drum becomes tick-tick-tick. And then the guitars have to be overly bright. And then this gets bright and that gets bright and this gets bright. And then yesterday I heard a mix that somebody posted in the Academy. It was a really cool like idea of a song. It was like this dark gothic song. I can't remember what it was called. And it just sounded like all the low and the high end had been high passed and low passed out of it. And there was no real low lows and there was no real high highs. And it just felt like somebody, and there was a very limited amount of instruments, so it sounded like they worked too hard. And that's another thing that a lot of people do, is they work too hard on the mix and they don't let instruments breathe. They feel like you have to EQ. So I'm trying to be careful with this. I'm high and low passing this because I just want to focus it a little bit. But at the same time, I've got to be careful. If I boost too much high end on any of these guitars, I'm going to have to introduce high end to other instruments.
I can't find one more deserving of all the blame. I know myself well, and everything points that way. And though I'm clean now, I can never change that these conditions are mine alone to claim. I don't know you. I don't know you like you do, but I can see it.
So a couple of things. Let's have a listen to here.
I am different.
That should be a lead line. So I am actually, believe it or not, going to introduce a bit of automation already because I just am. Let's take it out of a group. I just am. Listen to
Prove that I am different.
So I'm going to go in and do the same. The reason why I thought about it was because listen to this re-intro. Good question, Len. Why not brighten them and turn them down? Because it's not really a volume thing for me, because I wiped out the bottom and the top. I don't want to get to that point where I'm sort of like, because if I just brighten it on the top end and I bring it down so only the transients are heard, then I'm not getting the sound I want. That's why you see me using, not necessarily multi-bands, but you see me using DSs a lot, because I want an overall brighter sound, but I don't want to just exaggerate transients. That's one of the things that we fight when we're doing acoustic guitars, happens a lot when people send me mixes to critique, is that the acoustics are like, and it's annoying because they're super percussive, which is wonderful, but if they're out of time, it's annoying. But also, it just becomes like this. So you want the overall acoustic to be brighter, but you don't want those transients to be only the only thing you hear. So it's always a balance. So let's have a listen to this.
I don't know you.
So it's just this area here. So let's bring it up.
Conditions are mine alone to claim.
So I do leave a lot of automation to the end. Of course I do, but I'm not foolish enough to not do obvious things as they happen. This is an obvious thing. We have a little hooky piano part there, which we could no longer hear. So that nanosecond it took to turn it up is not something I have to leave to the end. I might as well do it while I hear it.
Are mine alone to claim. I don't know you. I don't know you like you do, but I can see it. Every weathered bruise and all the.
All right, we're still getting there. We got one last set of guitars to listen to. I'm going to listen to them all together. Heck, why not?
These conditions are mine alone to claim. I don't.
That's my little, homage, as they like to say. That's of course, Brian May. Now, it's just a harmony part of that same melody. All right, Brian May. So tomorrow, I'm going to go and see Queen. Woohoo! In Vegas, baby. Queen, who's going? Anybody else going? They're doing a residency. I think it's all sold out, but if it's not, go and buy tickets. They're doing a residency in Vegas, so I'm very, very excited to see Brian May. You know what? Completely and utterly not anything to do. We're going to do one more giveaway. Well, maybe we'll do another one, but who knows? But we'll do another giveaway. This is for a year membership. Let's see. Here. This is for a 1-year membership to the Academy. If you're already a member, you'll get another free year on top. Or if you're a lifetime member, you get to choose any free courses that we ever do. So any courses for free, I should say. That's not fair. You can get a free course for free. No, any course that you want that we do, you can have for free. Thank you, Vlog Channel. I appreciate it. So, okay. So my question is, you know what I'm going to ask? Who's your favorite guitar player? Who is your favorite guitar player? I want to know. And if you don't have a favorite guitar player, that's quite all right. Tell me you don't have a favorite guitar player. All right. Back to this. You know, I missed out a guitar over here. Let's see what it is. Oh, is it even playing? Is there a guitar here? There is nothing. Nicked, nothing. Nada. All right, let's get rid of that. So we don't have that one. Oh, righty. So I'm actually going to come out of soloing everything and just solo these guitars and have a listen. Oh, and by the way, please. Yeah, Adam Lambert's great. He's not Freddie Mercury, but he doesn't pretend to be, and he's humble, and he's got a great voice, and he gets to sing with one of the greatest rock bands in the world. All right, so let's have a listen to these individually and see if we can have some fun. Okay, that's one. Okay, two. Okay, so basically it's two parts. It's very fuzzy and distorted. I have to decide whether I want that or whether I want to... Please like, by the way, for those of you here. Oh, Jeff Beck. Somebody chose Jeff Beck and won. I wasn't even checking that out. That makes perfect sense, though. Huge fan. Wow, 400 people watching. You all rock and roll. Please hit that proverbial like button. We're going to give away more stuff. There's 400 people watching. This is amazing. Thank you. We'll give away one more Academy place at the end. Why not? Sorry, Matt. You've got to hang out right to the end. So... Sorry about that. I'm having a look over here. Okay, so... Here are all the guitars over here. For those of you, I never view it, I always view it like this, but... Okay, so I'm just going to do this. So those of you that work in this view, just going to pan it hard left and hard right, like such. And then we're going to listen. Don't need that. Gonna get rid of that. Okay, so did that appear on the end there? Yep, that can go again there. We don't need that. Put a little fade in there. Okay, so that too. Maybe I'm being a little pedantic here. But this is a pretty clean song. So, you know, sometimes that's what this is all about. Just a little bit of editing, just a little bit of cleanup. I do this all the time. I move things in time. I might, you know, you name it. Exactly, it is recorded with effects on it already. Get rid of that. All right, so I like it. Do I love it? Not quite. Let's have a So now I'm going to listen to the piano. So the question is, that's them together. Now, what role do I want these guitars to do? I definitely want to give it some body, but I don't need it for the high mids. That's what the piano's doing. So let's do this. Let's group all of these together. Let's find it's 41, 42 as a stereo group. Now let's create a stereo auxiliary. And yes, you guessed it. We'll call it hook guitar sub. Okay, obviously that's going to come in 41, 42. And I'm just, you know, to me it's like, whoops, wrong input. Oh no, right. I was too busy talking to pay attention. All right, so what do I want to do with this? Well, I want to wipe out, it doesn't need to be so down the bottom. So the first thing we're going to do is just open up, we'll go to a 7-band EQ. And we'll come in, I don't know, about here, 200, let's have a listen. I want to throw in, that might be a little aggressive, let's throw in the bass. So strangely enough, even though it's high passed, and this is another thing, even though it's high passed, supposedly, I'm still hearing it in the way of things I don't want it to be in. So I'm going to go up here and I'm going to put in 350. So you know, boom, boom, boom. That's those low mids. Boom, 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 boom. So I just pulled some of that out. Aha, yeah, you got me, Roy. Now I'm going to go to like that, doing, about 3K on the piano, and I'm going to pull some of that out. I'm partial to it, kind of. Not like exciting me too much. In the back of my mind, I have something I'm going to try in a minute. So I'm going to reverb it out. Let's have a listen. Let's put a bit of compression afterwards. Let's go... Just 1176 comes free. Hey, music producer, we're not going to put any Slate on, not because we don't love Slate, but because we're just mixing with stock plugins on only.
I don't know you.
Fastest release here. Do.
I don't know you.
So I like this. I like what it's doing. I like it. You can tell.
I don't know you.
I'm using the compression here. I'm not sidechaining it, but I'm using the compression here just to really even it out. What this is becoming to me is I'm trying to make this a wash, you know, with the reverb. I'm making it more of a wash and letting the definition come from the piano. So that blam, 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 blah, da, dum, dum. Have that come from the piano and make this more of a wah, just super washed out.
I don't know you. I don't know you like you do, but I can.
So I have to decide, do I want to make that piano brighter? At risk wanting to make everything else brighter? Or do I want to pull out a little bit more brightness out of this? So start by pulling out a little bit more. I have already, but why don't we do it the way that you know I like to do it, which is basically put a de-esser on it. But I'm actually going to put the de-esser on first. I'm a little bit of a freak like that. I'll start with that right at the beginning. So we're getting an Avid de-esser. Went to the right one first. So this is at 3K. See here?
I don't know you.
I was the bass player in that band. I also play guitar as well, but I just was only credited for bass. You'll find in the music industry you do lots of multiple jobs, and that's part of the thing. You know, you can play guitar, you can play bass, play drums, and sometimes, you know, in a band setting, you're not always credited. Now I think it's as simple as turning it down.
I don't know you.
Now it's starting to make some sense. It does feel like the piano part could be slightly louder. I'm going to bring it up slightly. I do not want to EQ it anymore at the moment. Let's come out group. I just want to turn up half a dB.
Mine alone to claim. I don't know you.
Right, okay, let's keep listening.
Away, and though I'm clean now, I can never change. That these conditions are mine alone to claim.
Okay. I like that, but I don't love it. I don't love it. So what does that make me want to do? Well, it makes me want to treat it a little bit more like we did with the slide guitar. So what does that mean? I'm going to do something a little weird here. I'm also going to take the DIs and treat them differently. So let's have a listen to this DI. It's going to be ugly. So that's a clean DI with the amp. The question is it phasing? Is it cancelling itself out? It's pretty good. What was the initial plan with the dreamy guitars? To make them dreamy. It's as simple as that. No, so what I'm doing here is, this is probably a little untoward, but I'm doing it, is I'm blending the DIs back in and taking the amps down. Because I want this to be more defined. I want to hear the melody. It's got to support the piano, but I also think that the fuzzy kind of zzz is making, is reducing the melody. So I'm favoring the DIs. This is not something I would normally do, but this is part of what we do. This is all part of mixing. So now it makes the piano feel like it's coming more forward because that is gone.
I'm mine alone to claim.
So, yeah, I mean, you do what you have to do. I'm already preferring it.
I don't know you. I don't claim. I don't know you. Claim.
I'm just looking. Look. 11 light. Let's have a listen. Oh yeah, I get the Crossroads reference. I actually never watched it, but I know what the show is. I've never seen it. All right, here goes. I think it is better. I actually prefer using 11. Even on that rock tone there, I'm going to bring the gain down. Are we wish you could load our own IRs in there. See, that's a nice little crunch. Let's go over to the other side. I like that. See, we're using virtual amps that come free with Pro Tools. Sometimes you just have to do what you have to do. All right, now I'm going to mute the live amps. So we went from using amps to using DIs with amp sims. How crazy is that? Let's have a listen. Yeah, I much prefer that. That's just dumb, but it's great. Okay, so inside of the Academy, I'm just going to go back to this. So inside of the Academy, we obviously give out multitracks each month, and these ones can definitely be available this month. I'll make sure that they're up for all the Academy members, and if those of you that win the Academy, you can get these. If Eric's listening, he can remember to do that. So these can definitely be available. But the way it works with the Academy is, the vocals still have more detail to be done to it. And we'll come back and do automation on all of this as well. We're finishing up in a minute. We'll do one more giveaway. But the thing that I was going to say about this is I don't believe in being precious. I watch people, and I've done it in the past, spend a long time working on something and tying themselves into knots. And what I did there, quite frankly, is go, you know what? This doesn't work, let's try something different. That doesn't work, let's try something different. And then I just ended up with a generic 11 plugin, went to the first setting that came out and turned the gain down so it's almost non-existent. So it's got just a little bit of gain, and frankly, it sounded better for my purpose. Are we going to get into the discussion of like, is it better than a real Marshall? I mean, who cares? I don't care if it is, because I'm not putting down like Marshall blues rock tones. I'm trying to get something that works for this. That's a discussion for forums and for trolling. I'm not interested in that. We're interested in getting a really, really great result. That's the wonderful thing about using virtual amps. And I would have gone to different ones as well, but we're doing stock plugins, so we just opened up 11. And, I recorded all these guitars. These are my guitars, and I'm saying, I don't like what I did, doesn't work with the piano, so off you did. I just went and changed it. All right, so we have 400 people watching. Absolutely amazing. Thank you ever so much. Please like and share. Hit that like button. Oh, and if you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe. Stick around. We're going to do one more giveaway. And then I'm going to put some effects on the vocals. We'll start doing that. So we're going to do one more giveaway. What can we do for the giveaway? Well, what would I like to know? I know what your favorite guitar player is. I know your favorite reverb plugin. What else can we do for one more giveaway? What do you want to know about each other? Hey, young cronies, you're not too late. Blue. Great result. Headphones, they're blues. Alan Heath, blah, 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 blah. Bo Diddley, get some dancing. Oh, yeah, Steve Morse is great. Hello in Serbia. Favorite movie, favorite synths. I like these. What's your DAW? We have asked DAW. We never asked shoe size, but it's okay. Okay, yeah, that's a good question. Martin wants to know. It's a very good question. Who here does this for a living? Is a recording engineer, or producer, or songwriter? Music. That's better. It's a bigger question. Who here does music for a living? And if you say no and it's a hobby, you can still win. There's no right answer. This is to find out about each other. Who here actually makes a living, or at least part of their living, working in the music industry? Either as a songwriter, guitar player, bass player, singer, musician, producer, engineer, mixer, works in the music industry in one way, shape, or form. Who does this for a living? Lots of people. Yeah, hobby, semi-pro, people are trying to do it for a living, amateur, opera singer, lovely. Do recording, mixing, engineer, mixing for most of my income. Wow. Songwriter, professional, hobbyist, currently 100%, good for you. You do music scores, that's amazing. You do this, fantastic. This is great. You work at Curry's, partly. This is amazing. We're going to definitely come back to this mix. Definitely come back to this mix. Okay, no, not for a living. See, you can win. You don't have. There's no right answer. That's what I love about this. There is no right answer. Well, this has been absolutely amazing. I really appreciate everybody in here. We're going to put this multi-track up in the Academy. So if you do win an Academy membership, you're going to have this multi-track. This is going to be available. And those of you who are Academy members, you can mix it this month. That's going to be wonderful as well. We have a lot of David, so David's been heavily featured. He's had 2 mixes. We'll come back and do one last one with this for everybody, where we'll do automation stuff. I might give this one more listen before we go, just because. Let's give it a listen.
I'm mine alone to claim.
I love working on this stuff, streaming it live with you. It's really, really good. Let's just go and listen to that section one more time. Let's do a chorus into that. This is the last listen through. Thank you, everybody. Please like if you haven't already. If you haven't subscribed, come back and subscribe. We do these all the time. We always do giveaways. And before we go, please stay and leave comments afterwards, and feel free to share and tell all your friends and family, and please subscribe.
And I can't find one more deserving of all the blame. I know myself well, and everything points that way. And though I'm clean now, I can never change that these conditions are mine alone to claim.
Fantastic. If you're Academy members, I look forward to seeing you. We'll put these multi-tracks in. We've got another one coming up as well, so it's going to be a pretty maxed out month for you. Those of you that are, excited to do this. I'm really excited to have you in here. If you haven't already joined the Academy, Matt will put up a link. If he hasn't already, please check it out. Stay. I know it takes YouTube about half an hour, 20 minutes to get this stuff figured out, but please leave some comments and questions below afterwards. I love it. If you've got any questions for Feedback Friday, leave them. Absolutely amazing. Really wonderful to have you here. Speak to you all again very soon. Have a marvelous time recording and mixing. And thank you ever so much.